furry shield. Mothers clutch their pearls, their heartbreak unsealed. Dogs won't bark, the sky won't rain, even the sun feels a little less sane. Dogs won't bark, the sky won't rain, even the sun feels a little less sane.
Hey bro, can I grab your bush?
Yeah, man, go for it.
Right on. Thanks, bro. Hey bro, can I grab your bush too?
Sure, bro. Go ahead.
Thanks.
Now I can grab my own bush. Saipan, it's time to grab your bush. Pick up a 12-pack of ice-cold bush, and you're in for more than just a refreshing beer. Every 12-pack gives you a chance to win exclusive bush gear and more. So don't wait. Swing by your favorite store, grab your bush, and join the fun. Because here in Saipan, the best moments are even better with Bush. Grab your bush today.
If you think girls and women's equality matter, stand up. If girls and women's sports matter, and you want your daughters to have the same opportunity you had, stand up. If you know that it isn't fair or safe to allow males to compete in girls' sports, because it's, well, obvious, stand up. Don't be cowed by people who call you a bigot. You're not a bigot. Don't let men tell us how to be good girls. Don't let others tell you you just need to be quiet. Sit down. Be nice. It's not nice to further a lie. It's not mean to believe in women's equality. We deserve our own sports, privacy, fairness, safety. We deserve a chance to compete and win. So don't be nice. Don't be careful. Be honest. Be brave. Fight for women. We've come too far to give up now.
And if you agree with that, stand up and stand with us.
Shiny smiles all around, where happiness is found. It's the little things that make it true. Shiny smiles start with you.
Golden sands under my feet, waves crashing loud, a steady beat, palms swaying left, swaying right, endless blue from day to night. Siphon calling, feel the breeze.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Nama's Kitchen, so delicious. I need a burger and a soda with it. It tastes so great, got me so addicted. Let's hop in the car, gotta go and get it. Nama's Kitchen, so delicious. I need a burger and a soda with it. It tastes so great, got me so addicted. Let's hop in the car, gotta go and get it.
Good morning, Marianas. Holy cow. It is 7:45 here in the morning on Tuesday, but much more than that, it is St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day. Oh, look, it's St. Patrick's Day. We're going to go out there and we're going to get yourself some shillelaghs and start walking brown tree snakes from San Antonio down to San Apollo. We're going to be whacking them all over the place. We're going to make it a competition. We're going to call it a whack-off. Maybe not. Maybe not. Good morning, everybody. It is going to be a great one today. I know maybe that's not the best name for a contest, so we won't call that. But it is St. Patrick's Day, and the big question is, where are you going to celebrate St. Patrick's Day? Where are you going to get? Is it Jameson? Is that your pill tonight? Or is it going to be Guinness? What is it that makes it St. Patrick's Day for you? Now, last year, we called somebody completely out of the blue, and I think we should do it again. We're going to do it right now. Before we get to anything, we're going to reach out right now. And you're right. Hey, don't question my dorkiness, because that is 100% part of what you are buying in for when you're calling this, when you're listening to the show. Oh, I can't call from that phone. I could, but I'd be calling them the wrong way. Hold on. Let's see if I got the context here. Because that's there we go. Excuse me, we're going to call this unsuspecting Chef.
Hello?
Jody O'Sullivan, this is Brad. I am calling you. We are on the air right now.
Hello, Brad.
I normally don't call you out of the blue, but when I do, you know, you probably got to check the calendar.
Yeah, right? What possible day could it be today?
Yeah, it is March 17th, a little day that you might not know. We call it St. Patrick's Day.
Indeed we do. Even here we call it St. Patrick's Day.
All around the world. That's how big the story of St. Patrick is. Hey, let me ask you, as our resident Ireland representative here, who represented Ireland in the half marathon again, because you're awesome, and an amazing chef over there, pastry chef over there at Crown Plaza Resort Saipan. Can you tell us a little bit, a real quick nutshell version of St. Patrick's Day?
Basically, so the funny thing is, the St. Patrick's Day that you know and love was essentially imported back into Ireland from America.
No way.
Yeah. So the first St. Patrick's Day parade was in New York, of all places.
Oh.
So all of the pageantry, all that kind of stuff, was basically brought back to Ireland or from America. We don't do any of the dyeing anything green, but like the parades and everything, that's where it came from.
So basically, it's an American holiday that you guys also think is okay.
We pretty much co-opted the the American way to celebrate our own national holiday. So.
We're winning the hearts and minds. We're taking them one country at a time, bringing celebrations all over, celebrating us. It's in America. We're winning already.
Precisely.
Awesome.
Totally.
Hey, that's great. How about over there at Crown Plaza? Are you guys going to be doing anything special today? Maybe at Mari Bar?
We're going to be keeping it pretty low key this year. On the buffet for breakfast, lunch, and dinner will be a Guinness spread, one of my aunt's recipes. But apart from that, we're pretty low key this year.
Wow, that's great. Is there? I could think of two things in particular that we've got here that would be considered at least an Irish beverage. I could think of, I see a bottle of Jameson off to the side. I don't know if that would be considered part of the fun today, or a Guinness.
Either of the above work absolutely perfectly.
All right, excellent. That is awesome. Hey, how you been? Everything good in your world? Anything new and exciting?
All good, all good. No, nothing new. Off to Palau tomorrow. So
Oh, wow.
For a triathlon, so it should be fun.
Wow, a triathlon in Palau. Well, good luck to you. We hope that you win first place.
Me too. Would be a bad one.
Me too. I love it. You're going to do great. You're a great representative, great ambassador of everybody out here, and we look forward to seeing how you end up doing over there. Send some photos.
Will do. Absolutely. Thanks a million, Brad.
All right, take care. Have a great day.
You too. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
All right, that's Chef Jody O'Sullivan. He is getting ready to follow that rainbow to the pot of gold that is over there in Palau for the triathlon that's going to be happening. Excited about that for him. And on St. Patrick's Day, you know, we're trying to put all this good stuff together. Well, we have a lot going on, and what we're going to do, we're going to get you started. Well, we got you started with that first phone call, but we are going to get you the headlines from the Associated Press. So let's get them fired up, because we got some guests who are going to be ready for you here in just about 10 minutes. So here we go, your update from the AP.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. The war in the Middle East is raging on. Karen Shamas summarizes the day's action.
Israeli strikes on Lebanon and Iran continue as Iran hits Gulf neighbors while keeping a stranglehold on oil shipping. Dubai's airports suspended flights due to an Iranian drone that struck a nearby fuel tank. Iran also launched missiles towards Israel. The fighting has been disrupting oil shipping through the Strait of Hormuz and pushing global energy prices higher. I'm Karen Shamas.
Ed Donahue has the latest reaction from President Trump.
President Trump is pushing allies to step up and free up shipping traffic in the Strait of Hormuz.
And the level of enthusiasm matters to me.
Iran has, for the most part, cut off traffic in the Strait to its enemies.
I've been a big critic of all of the protecting of countries, because I know that we'll protect them. And if we ever needed help, they won't be there for us. I've just known that for a long period of time.
In Germany, Stefan Cornelius, a spokesperson for Chancellor Friedrich Merz, says, "I would recall that the United States and Israel did not consult us before the war, and that Washington said expressly at the beginning of the war, European help was neither necessary nor desired." I'm Ed Donahue.
Oil prices actually eased today. Brent crude, the international standard, falling 2.8% to just over $100 per barrel. Benchmark U.S. crude was down more than 5%, settling at $93.50 per barrel. However, gasoline prices are still climbing. AAA puts the national average at nearly $3.72 per gallon. Still, stocks had a bit of a rebound. The Dow added close to 388 points, or 0.8%. The S&P climbed a full 1%. The Nasdaq 1.2%. And extreme weather coast to coast has prompted more than 3,000 flight cancellations and early school closings in the Mid-Atlantic. This is AP News. Flights have been quietly taking Palestinians out of Gaza. Sam Mednick has the story.
An AP investigation has found that an Israeli group whose founder adamantly supported President Trump's proposal to resettle Palestinians from Gaza is behind several mystery flights that transferred hundreds of people out of the war-torn enclave. 3 of them that flew to Indonesia as well as South Africa. Palestinians said they didn't know who was behind the flights, but that ultimately it really didn't matter. They just wanted to get out. 2 years of war has decimated the Strip and left much of it uninhabitable. Palestinians need Israeli permission to leave Gaza, Gaza. Rights groups say that Palestinians have the right to leave, but that they also have the right to return. And Israel has a decades-long track record of not letting Palestinians return to Gaza. Gilad Ach, the founder of Adcon, denied allegations South Africa made that the flights were used to cleanse Palestinians from the West Bank and Gaza, and said that they were used for humanitarian purposes.
There are more stories at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
Are you or someone you know living with a mental illness? Have you experienced abuse or neglect, denial of services, or discrimination because of a mental illness or disability? You have rights. NM Posse is the Northern Marianas Protection and Advocacy Systems Incorporated, and we're here for you. Individuals diagnosed with mental illness have human, civil, and legal rights under federal and local law. No one should be mistreated, denied services, or discriminated against because of a disability. NM Posse's PIME program provides protection and advocacy for individuals with mental illness and provides information about your rights, advocacy and assistance for eligible individuals, and support in cases involving abuse, neglect, or discrimination. Services are confidential and provided at no cost to eligible individuals. To learn more, call NM Posse today at 670-235-7273 or 7274 or email gborja@nmposse.org.
Waves crash hard, the shore don't break. Roots go deep, no storm can take. This land of ours where hearts ignite. Cypress stands holding tight. Tinian whispers, winds that heal. Road rises, forged in steel. Island strong, we carry on. Through the dark, we find the dawn. Hold the line, we sing your song. Serpentine rota, island strong.
All right, good morning, CNMI. It is 7:56 here in the morning on Tuesday, St. Patrick's Day, and it's 74 degrees outside. Can you believe it? I even have the air conditioner on, but I think I have it. It's set at 79, so I kind of wonder if it's not just acting as a heater in here to warm us up because it's so cold outside. Yeah, take that, east coast of the mainland. It is cold here in the Marianas at 74 degrees. Rip current statement still in effect all the way until tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock. Same thing goes for the high surf warning and the high surf advisory, so be careful if you're going to be out there on the water. Coastal flood watch in effect until this morning. Now until this afternoon as well. That got extended. Not sure exactly what's happening, but the tide is getting up there and whipping up a storm over there. So be careful if you're going to be out there on the water, particularly on the east and north facing exposures. That's what they're telling us over there from the good folks over there at the National Weather Service over there in Tiedzin, Guam. That's right. If you like the weather, you can love on Landon. If you don't like it, you can blame it on Brandon. That is exactly how they're calling it over there. Looking at isolated showers, mostly sunny skies throughout the day today. High near 86. It is going to be gusty out there, up to 22 miles per hour, and it's going to get even stronger tomorrow. So if you're a kite surfer, this is your way to go. Hey, Candid News is in the house. Great to see you, Brother Troy, and everybody who's out there. And so many of you guys out there. In fact, I want to talk about all of you guys out there, but we have so many people who are in here. And right now, we got to get him on the screen because it's not just our Commissioner of Public Education, Dr. Lawrence Kamacho. We have other folks here who are going to be coming in right after. But Mr. Commissioner, welcome back to the studio.
Thank you. Good morning. It's always great to be back in the studio. And by the way, it could have been 72 when I stepped out of my house in the north part of the island in San Roque this morning, and might as well be 70 up in the mountains there at the ranch this morning because it was indeed a little bit of the chill factor.
Is it the north side or the North Pole? I mean, it is cold up there in San Roque, but it's a great village, and It's great because you flew here all the way on the PSS helicopter, beat the traffic just to get down here to the studio this morning.
You know, we don't have a budget for a PSS helicopter for sure.
All right. Well, so he had a driver just going by. So, Kamish, what do you think as we're looking down here?
The driver is right here. Yeah. But thank you for having us this morning. I just want to kind of, really, number one, I appreciate the show and always listen to it in the morning and all that. But wonderful to be here to also talk about a little bit about PSS, right, and some of the things and wonderful things that we're doing. First of all, on April 11th, we have the Parent Summit. We have our Spring Parent Summit on the 11th of April. It's going to be at Crown Resort, and it's going to start at 8:30. That particular summit, we're shooting for about 150 parents to be there.
Wow.
It's really hosted and facilitated by the Parent Advisory Council, which really is comprised of the presidents from all the PTSAs, the Parent Teacher Student Association. But on that particular day, there are going to be some hot topics about some of the things that we want to engage with parents on, because engaging parents and education in our education system is really a top priority, to making sure that we understand, we hear the voices of our parents as we also inform them on how things are going with their students and their kids, right? So that's going to be great. Another event that's happening towards the end of the month, starting on the 19th of April, is a reception for the beginning of the inaugural Micronesian Regional Education Summit, right? So that incorporates a lot of the jurisdictions around Micronesia that will come here for a big summit, and so we're expecting about 200 to 300 people there for that. We've got already lots of coordination and planning in the works for working with the other jurisdictions to come here. So the conference dates are 20th to the 22nd, and we're looking at holding this event at the World Resort. So that one is going to be a hot one as well, that the cinema is going to be hosting. And it'll be the first one being hosted in the region, so we're happy about that.
Now, when you do stuff like that, you're bringing people to Saipan. Do you get some support like from MVA? Do they jump in?
Oh, yes, we try to work hand in hand to include lots of the cultural events that we have, which, by the way, we have a Chamorro Carolinian Language Heritage Study competition on the 2nd of May, and that's going to be held over at Hopwood Hopwood Middle School. I keep calling it junior high because it was junior high when I was going there. But that particular one is going to be comprised of all of our schools coming together. They'll be all represented by their teams that they send over to compete on the language and the heritage. So that's going to be a wonderful event as well.
Wow, sounds amazing. I can't wait. I remember the big parade of the schools and the big cultural event.
Oh, yes. Yeah, thank you for being there for that. That was an awesome event, wasn't it? And I really appreciate you being out there just filming our kids. So thank you for that. And then lastly, we have 8 schools right now that are undergoing humongous projects as a result of Typhoon FEMA. So it's been several years, and we're finally getting to the point where we are really scratching the surface on those campuses and actually constructing a lot of the buildings that are in the works. And so we're just excited about that as well.
That is such a big deal. A lot of that, all that stuff happened way before you were a part of all that stuff. But you seem to be getting all the, all these projects are going now, like Hopwood for years. There's a temporary structure there, but there's going to be the full-on construction, right? There's stuff that's going to be happening in Kobler as well. Dauk Academy broke ground on already. And what are some of the other ones?
The Career Technical Education Center that's being built right here in front of Marianas High School.
Oh, yes.
Right off of Beach Road. Olea Elementary School is undergoing projects. San Vicente Elementary School is undergoing projects. You talked about Kobler, Hopwood, Dauk, and I'm sure there's several others that are undergoing. But there's a lot of others that have already also completed the projects that we've been trying to get done. WSR, William S. Regis Elementary School. Cafeteria is being built as well.
So the cool thing about WSR, they were trying to get all the alumni together and everything for the 80th anniversary of the school, going back to like CK Elementary and then WSR. And I saw these old photos, and the school still looks the same for the most. I mean, I know it's bigger, But I mean, a lot of the hardened structures are still there.
Yes, those were pretty good buildings to begin with. And I know even like when I was growing up in the 70s, San Roque Elementary School, now Gregorio T. Kamacho Elementary School, some of the buildings are still standing up,
You
for
guys
which
are
I went
right there on the water. GTC, you've got Hopwood, and you've got San Antonio, like FMS now, right?
Yeah.
But all right there.
Oh, FMS is another one that's undergoing construction.
Oh, yeah?
Right now, yeah. So lots of great things happening. You heard about our traffic vulnerability assessment that we conducted, that summit and that collaboration with the mayor's office and DPS and DPW getting together and signing an MOU. Now I'm working with the legislature to see what they can do for really kind of, fixing and really coming up with those solutions, or really kind of making those solutions become realities that we have started putting together. So.
Wow. And well, luckily, I think I see it every day because there's a bus stop for Hopwood. These guys. So like I know that I get to see people slowing down and stop, and once in a while you get somebody who thinks it's okay to pass a bus with the flashing red lights.
Yeah.
You're just risking the lives of those kids and stuff like that. But for the most part, though, you could see that people know what they're doing when the bus is coming by.
Yeah, I just paid a visit to that poor kid who got hit by a car last week, and that was a very unfortunate event. And that's really the reasons why we did the traffic vulnerability assessment, to make it a community thing to come out and make sure that we all understand. So more to follow on that, the signages, the speed limits, all the things that we would do. And then as a community, we need to learn how to pass through school zones, right? And so we don't get into those accidents. But it was wonderful talking to that's a lot. There are a lot of kids downstairs, you know, and I know that the bus stop is across the street. They won't even fit underneath that bus stop. So that's another topic that we're talking about. We'll be talking about it even more at the Parent Summit. But one of the cool things that we're working with the parents on and the council is really on how to make our bus stops become better for, accommodating for our kids. So.
Well, it's funny. I know this is not the main topic of it, but speaking of bus stops, I know we painted one up and then we repainted it again, and it's due for another one now. But the conversation that one of our friends was saying, like, hey, who owns these bus stops? And we reached out, PSS said, hey, we don't own them. They're not really ours. So it's really kind of up to the community to help out.
And that's exactly the one thing that we're working on with the mayor's office, DPW, and PSS. We got to figure out, right, really what the deal is with the bus stops, because they're not all standardized. And the Parent Advisory Council, through the parents, really kind of are asking to do what we can to make them all standard for all of the kids that are in all three islands.
Yeah, that little guy across the street. So before the Beach Road project, that used to be one that McDonald's put together, and they were maintaining and everything. And kids could actually fit in there and everything. This one looks nice, but it's definitely not going to take care of anybody in a rainstorm. So that's why we get all the kids are. I mean, I get used to seeing them every day when I come in here. So it's cool. And the parents drop them off, and then in the afternoon, the parents are here to pick them up and stuff like that.
I had a great time talking to them this morning.
That's awesome. Yeah, it is definitely Team Hopwood downstairs.
It is.
No, and I know they're the Hilitai.
They're the Hilitai.
I know. I don't know why Little Admirals just sounds like it.
And I was an Elitai too.
Really?
Always will be an Elitai. Yeah.
No kidding. So you're from all the way up north, and then you had to come all the way back. Was that the only middle school?
Back in the day, I had to ride the bus all the way from San Roque to Hopwood in the morning, and then in the afternoon all the way back to San Roque.
Did you ever miss the bus?
No, but the bus is one thing that I value, right? And even, I don't know if I've said this before, but I've actually ridden in our buses in all three islands, here in Saipan, Tinian, and Rota, just to, see the transaction between the bus driver and the kids as they step onto and off the bus. And that great interaction. I tell the bus drivers this all the time. The first step into our school and our education system when they're bus riders is when they step into the bus. So I love that communication between the bus driver turning around to Mr. Kamacho and saying, good morning, Mr. Kamacho. That type of transaction is going to be very important because it sets the day off. And even after school for the kid, right, the mindset is changed a little bit when there's that wonderful transaction between, the bus drivers and the students coming on and off the bus. Because the kids are under a lot of pressure, in the morning. Did you fix your sandwich? Did you do your homework? Did you throw the trash out? And then they're running off to the bus stop. By the time they take their breath there, the bus is coming over to pick them up. So, set the tone for the kids when they come onto the bus is one thing that I always ask of our bus drivers to always present to kids.
Well, I was a bus driver kid, that's for sure. But I had it made because the bus stop just happened to be at our house. They didn't go house to house. It wasn't that kind of thing. It was like the different spots in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like there was just two streets met right at my house. So all the kids would hang out in our carport while we were waiting for the bus or playing basketball, shooting hoops and just waiting for that thing to come. And imagine wintertime too, right? So
This is in Buffalo?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
A long time ago. But it was a good thing. So, but I remember it, and I have missed the bus as a kid. I had to walk 3 miles to get to school, but luckily when that happened, somebody picked me up. Like there was some rando parent that I would know that would stop by. Oh, what happened? Well, I missed the bus. My mom was there. Oh, okay, I got it. Just take me down there.
Yeah, it's crazy because in those little towns, right? I have fellow commissioners and superintendents of education that, school district superintendents that tell me that in the little towns, sometimes when the bus drivers can't come to work during the snow days, they're the ones who are actually going out there driving the buses.
No
It's
kidding.
like, I can't see myself driving the bus here, but so be it, right, for them.
Yeah, we've got sweet buses. Our buses are pretty nice.
Yeah, thankfully, and I'm sure happy that, PSS really kind of is where the buses belong to, and not, some places actually have the public works, run the buses. So that our bell schedule is based on our schedule, not on the bus's schedule, right? The buses really conform to our schedule, and that's very important for us because we cannot veer off of a lot of our scheduling because of the limited time that we have the students for the day and making sure that the learning is really kind of happening all throughout their time with us.
I like it. I could tell those bus drivers, they get there early to get ready. Some of them are really dedicated for it too because they're up there. They get there early, and then they get to where they go to stage to wait until they start doing pickups and stuff like that.
I've been to the station, the central bus station, and seen them come in and clock in at 6, in the morning when it's still dark out there. Mm-hmm. It's crazy, but they're very dedicated. They're wonderful folks, and I really kind of give them a lot of good credit for just making sure that our kids are transported safely to and from, but at the same time also making sure that they're safe driving, across the community streets, right? Mm-hmm. The streets in our community. So. It just give kudos, and that's why we have a bus driver appreciation day and all that, just kind of also recognize that they're a big part of the educational value that we deliver to our kids.
That's great. So I know you've got other stuff you want to get to also after this, but is there anything else you want to hit before we'll take a break before we get you together with
the other last thing that we're working on, really not the last thing, there's a lot of things. There's 100 things going on across our public school system, but we're putting together a budget to submit, so that's going to be something that we're also going to have to continue to work on and making sure that it's the best one that we present in for what the economy can afford for us as an education system that provides that quality teaching and learning. But we have guests, and I really appreciate you inviting us over with our guests from Guam, and also to talk about this thing called WestCare, which I am on the foundation board on. And it's just a wonderful thing that we should have here in the cinema, and we're bringing it into. We actually have an office here now. WestCare does have an office here, but we'll talk about what we're going to be doing for not just the community when it comes to addressing the issues for, substance, for prevention, treatment, and even recovery. Mm-hmm. We also have a lot of mental health counseling that are happening, and we're working for addressing that on the youth. But as a veteran, I really value that we're going to be talking about what WestCare can do for veterans and what it is already starting to do for veterans here in the CNMI. Thank you for that this morning.
Not just a veteran. You got to see the pictures of the old colonel here with looking like Robert Duvall in Apocalypse Now with the hat and everything like that. And you need to hear Flight of the Valkyries when you walk into that door. It was great. Anyway, it was good to see you, sir. And we're going to take a real quick break. When we come back, we'll have those folks from WestCare join you here in the studio, and we're not going to be gone for very long. So stick around. We'll be right back.
All right.
Shiny smiles all around, where happiness is found. It's the little things that make it true. Shiny smiles start with
They're friends and neighbors, sons, fathers. They're little league coaches and veterans. They're people who love this country. These are Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers. They are removing violent criminals from our streets and neighborhoods. It's dangerous and difficult work. But ICE has one mission: to make America a safer place to live. And that's what they're doing. This is law enforcement. This is ICE.
College hoops, time to bust some brackets. Selection Sunday has landed. Duke earns the #1 overall seed, also the top seed in the East, the #1 seed in the West region, Arizona, the #1 seed in the Midwest region, Michigan, and the top seed in the South region, Florida. Meanwhile, the SEC title game was interesting, but in the end, Arkansas emerges victorious.
The Arkansas Razorbacks are the champions of the SEC tournament, an 86-75 win.
ESPN on the call. As you heard, the Razorbacks beat Vandy 86-75. Joining them in the big dance will be VCU. They claim the A-10 championship.
And the three is launched, and that is it. And the A-10 champion Rams of VCU now have guaranteed themselves a trip to the big dance.
At CBS on the call, the Rams beat Dayton 70-62. Win number 27 on the season for VCU, and yes, they're going to the dance.
This is Ainsley Earhart. Thank you for joining me for the 52-episode podcast series, The Life of Jesus.
A listening experience that will provide hope, comfort, and understanding of the greatest story ever told. Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Wild finish at the Ivy League final. Penn needed overtime to take out Yale 88-84. Big Ten title game goes to Purdue. They beat Michigan 80-72. And the American Conference title game, Wichita State and South Florida. South Florida wins 70-55. What a Sunday final round at the Players' Championship. American Cam Young, easily the biggest victory of his career. He beats Matthew Fitzpatrick by one shot after the Englishman bogeyed the last. Xander Schauffele finishes third, 2 shots back. Distant finishes for both Rory McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler. And from the World Baseball Classic, Venezuela beat Japan in a quarterfinal upset. They'll face Italy in the semis Monday night. For more stories and features, go to foxsports.com. I'm Jay Berman.
Get more on the Fox Sports app and foxsports.com.
Join Fox in supporting our troops. From daily needs to global emergencies, help us be there for those who serve. Visit go.fox/Red Cross to donate to service to the armed forces today.
Nina's Kitchen, so delicious. I need a burger and a soda with it. It tastes so great, got me so addicted. Let's hop in the car, gotta go and get it.
All right, welcome back, Marianas. It is 8:18 here on Tuesday, and I don't know what your plan is for lunch, but if you're not thinking about Ina's Kitchen, what are you thinking about? Our guests over here got to be thinking about Ina's Kitchen, even if they haven't been there before. They're getting that earworm going right now with this little jingle going, so we can get them over there, and they can find out what kind of magic ingredients they're putting in the food over there. Anyway, welcome back. It is going to be a beautiful day for us here today. I'm so glad to have our guests in here from WestCare. You're like, who's WestCare? Good news, we're going to find out together. I know a little bit more than that, but I'm really excited to have these guys join us in studio today. And look at that, we got Doc Kamacho. He's still here with us, and hopefully he can help us introduce everybody here.
Sure.
today.
Thank you for the opportunity again to be here. WestCare really is delighted for being here on the show. It's just a great, wonderful thing. But surprise, surprise. You think that these guys did not get to Ina's? They were there yesterday for lunch.
Oh, yes. All right, let's show of hands. I mean, who enjoyed Ina's Kitchen?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Pika burger.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
so they had the Pika burger.
That's my favorite. That is my favorite burger of the burgers they got over there.
Yeah,
That's
but this morning we'll talk about WestCare also and how WestCare is growing into where the CNMI could also benefit from the services that are provided by the wonderful organization. WestCare is a national foundation, and so on the board when we sit at the national level, we operate in 20 different states and territories, and we're guiding and providing direction for all the WestCares in all those 20 different states and territories. But mainly here in our region, WestCare Pacific Islands is just a wonderful office that comes out of Guam.
Mm-hmm.
And in Guam, we have at least about 9 programs that are provided for by WestCare, right? Serving the community from mental health counseling to, drug substance, the substance prevention, treatment, and even recovery. And a lot of those things that we want to also kind of bring over to the CNMI. And so we're growing here. We have a thing called Community Action Council that are comprised of folks from the community here, helping WestCare kind of navigate through, right? And just a great, wonderful news. Over the weekend, we had NMHC who had informed WestCare of its allocation of funding for about $1.6 million for WestCare to come in and help solve this, address this homelessness.
No
or
kidding.
this homeless, issue here in the CNMI. So we're excited about that. But on top of that, speaking of serving, right, we want to serve those who served. And as a former service member myself and a veteran of our armed forces, I'm just delighted that WestCare also has this thing called SSVF. I'll let the crew behind me here talk about that. But it's just a great, wonderful thing to supporting veterans. And if it's supporting veterans in Guam, we want to kind of bring the same likeness of support and service to the CNMI, and we're just excited for that. Brad, you're a veteran yourself, so I'm sure you would appreciate the conversation this morning about SSVF and the wonderful things that our friends from Guam are bringing over to the CNMI.
So who are our friends here from WestCare?
So I'm Lorenzo Regis, the lead veteran advocate for our program Supportive Services for Veteran Families. I know it's a mouthful. We'll just call that SSVF for short for the program.
And I'm Christina Cruz. I'm the program's program manager, so SSVF.
And I'm Marley Alfonso. I am the outreach specialist for our program.
So SSVF, so it's just like it sounds.
Exactly.
Nice. It's great. All right, so let's talk about WestCare. So I've heard it mentioned so many different times. Kim Kamacho, who with our Chamber of Commerce, tells me she's a part of it too. And it's something that she cares about, and she's trying to help get the word out here too. And but I still only know just a very surface level about it. So maybe you guys could tell us a little bit more about what's going on.
Can I just say that the WestCare Pacific Islands has a community action council that is serving the region, right? So we have community action council chair in Guam. Mark Mendiola is chair of that, and then there's vice chair there in Guam with other members of the community action council in Guam. Then it kind of comes over to the CNMI, and here we have myself as a part of the Community Action Council, also on the national board, and also Community Action Council chair for the Northern Marianas is Tiffany Crisostomo, and then we just recently added Kim Kamacho to be on our team. Wow. So we're charged with helping WestCare navigate through the community and the officials and partnerships that we have ongoing with throughout the CNMI. I think is our duty to kind of bring into providing and then making sure that we deliver the services that WestCare offers. So,
but you're at the national. Like, how did you even hear about it? How did you get involved?
In 2019, I was recruited by Aja Ramos, who is the Chief Operating Officer for WestCare Pacific Islands. At that point, she was promoted to be the acting vice president for WestCare Pacific Islands, and so she reached out to me when I was at the University of Guam, working there as a dean of students, and wanted to kind of provide that advice from the university angle as well, or want to be provided that advice. And so I got on and became part of the Community Action Council, and as vice chair of the Community Action Council when I was in Guam, ended up making it over to the national board as well. So from there, working with the president of WestCare and the executives there, and then the folks in Guam, and really kind of shaping our support and services to the CNMI, I think is one of the biggest priorities that I have since then. And now I'm so glad that we have a great team here in the Northern Marianas with Tiffany and Kim helping myself and the rest of the WestCare team to bring WestCare to the CNMI. And veterans is really one of the top priorities. I know our Chair Tiffany really is really wanting to make sure that we provide the greatest support that WestCare can offer for the veterans here. So working towards that.
Well, I hear you're so much better than EastCare. I mean, that's
yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about like some of these services, some of these things that you guys do?
Yeah. So what SSVF? Well, we were founded in 2014 in Guam. Again, this SSVF, it's a grant that is nationwide, so every state has an SSVF. Guam so happens to have one. Again, the goal is to bring one to Saipan if the need is there. What SSVF does essentially is they help homeless veterans. May that be on the street. On Guam, it kind of looks a little different sometimes when they're living on family ranches. Maybe it's a substandard home. We still consider that homeless as well. Yeah. So we can come in and provide shelter, put them in a hotel for 60 days. While we work with a realtor to find them their own rental of their own, that we can assist with rental assistance, security deposits, utility assistance, things to get them back up on their feet, right? That also applies to veterans who may be in a rental unit already, but for whatever the reason is that they may have at risk for losing their rental. We can kick in and provide assistance for catching them up on rent and getting them back up on their feet. What happens a lot on Guam is veterans and the general public, they stay with their family members, so that we can also assist if the family member, for whatever the reason is, they are kicking them out of the house. We can come in and provide those similar services that we provide to a homeless veteran to get them into their own rental unit and things like that. So that's the work we're trying to bring to Saipan if that's the need that is here, right? So
you talked about a lot of local stuff, and I see it, but you know what else I see in Guam is that a lot of, and to some extent here, a lot of the homeless folks who aren't really from Guam, how do they get there? And how do they get here? Because I feel like, I mean, I've heard all the anecdotal stuff. Well, it started with folks in Denver to keep their homeless people alive in the winter. They would send them to Hawaii. And then the folks in Hawaii would send them to Guam, and the folks from Guam would send them here. First of all, who's they? And then, but how do they make their way here? I mean, it's not like all those cups full of change in front of the places are like to buy a ticket to go.
Yeah.
Do we know how?
There's a bunch of different reasons or areas to enter, but outside of the local veterans, of course, We do experience, because we are close to the Philippines, they have a lot of veterans that stay in the Asian areas because of the lower cost of living, especially if they're working off their VA compensation income, maybe a set income, right? But for whatever reason, they need to fly to the closest U.S. territory for medical services, which happens to be Guam. There's a couple of instances where they take MAG flights, which is free. We have a couple of veterans that we assisted in that scenario. But
I think too, we've had a couple folks come through where their visas have expired in another country, and they're sent to the closest U.S. soil, which is us, and then they're at the airport and we get a call saying, "Well, I have nothing. I have no money. The money that was sufficient, say, in the Philippines or in Indonesia, it is not enough on Guam, and so I don't have resources. I'm not familiar with where I'm at, and I need help."
Wow.
And that's where, our program can come through.
And how do people find you? I mean, I know they can't come here just knowing like, oh, magic. I'm going to call Christina and Lorenzo and Marley and everything's going to be great. Like, how do they find you?
I think we have a really good presence in the community. Marley, as our outreach specialist, really takes the time to educate the community, whether that's at the village level with our mayor's offices, with folks in the community, setting up resource tables, doing presentations, going to different agencies. So we really want to be in the community and know, if you know of a veteran, or if you're a veteran yourself that is struggling or experiencing a housing crisis, call WestCare. Like, we're here to help.
And it's an amazing service. I mean, it really is. And so that's its own situation, the folks who aren't from here. But is there one commonality amongst all the folks who are going through these kind of these situations? Is there anything that's just that you could say that's kind of, I see this all the time from all my vets?
Man.
Or is it just really all over the place?
I think I can talk about that. I would say being a veteran myself, it's just having the pride let go and just come in and seek services. Most of the time when you get out of the military or leave the military, you're still in that phase of not knowing what's my purpose or what to do with my life, or I've been doing the military for so long that I need some kind of motivation and guidance, right? Also, your family struggles, depending on like if you're a VA compensation, right? Struggles with dealing with your general life emotional issues going through. So I can say that I've used WestCare before. I was going through a rough time. I tried to seek out someone from the Guard. My old PSG, he gave me the number to WestCare. Checked them out, the Reflection Center, and it really helped me reset my life at that time and get me back on track. That's why when I found out that I could be a part of something that helped reset me, why wouldn't I come here and talk to veterans and show them my experience and let them know that there is resources out there that can help you, and besides the VA, right? Because sometimes you don't want to connect with the VA, you just want to be heard, and you also want someone to understand what you're going through. As an outreach specialist, I like engaging with veterans because I kind of feel like I know what they think. We kind of fall on the same page, like a same but different, right?
Well, we were taught to be self-sufficient.
Yes.
And not to go out and seek help, but to get it done yourself. I mean, that's the thing. And it shows weakness. I'm not saying this is exactly what it is, but this is just a mindset, right?
That's true.
I mean, it shows weakness, when you do all that stuff. And getting over to that, it's such a breakthrough. See, like, they're even calling the police on me for talking about it. But it's such an emotional breakthrough when you can have that change of mindset, that it's okay to talk about it, to speak about it, to ask for help.
Yes.
And what a release when you're able to finally do that. So it was your old platoon sergeant? Is that what you were saying?
Yes.
BSG, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's I don't think that they don't teach you about that kind of stuff when you're at.
No. So what I try to do for my side in the outreach, I'm still serving. I'm currently with the Guam Army National Guard.
Yeah.
So I try to at least talk to my Joes about, hey, you're getting off deployment or you're gonna get out. If you need help, any kind of help, reach out to WestCare, reach out to myself or any of your squad leaders or team leaders. Right? There are resources there, so you just have to, quote unquote, swallow the pride pill and seek.
Yeah, I look at it in the comments, see like, it's sad to think people who serve in the military and they come home to be homeless. I totally understand that. It is a different thing when you got your 3 meals a day are covered, your health insurance covered. What am I going to do today? Covered, because they got everything for you. And if not, it's you're cleaning something or you're doing maintenance on something. The CP's not going to clean itself, like all that. Yeah. So there's always something lined up that when making that transition. The other part is a totally different thing is that knowing like career servicemen when they get out, that lack of respect from regular people at a regular job, like your job function and stuff like that. Like you don't expect civilians to snap to parade rest or anything like that. But if somebody would tell you what to do, it's like, come on, man. Like, come on, man. What are you talking about? That's not how this is supposed to work here.
Yeah, it's totally different from transitioning from military to the civilian side. And
But you're still in. Lorenzo, were you in?
No.
No? Christina, were you in? No. All right. So, but you've got this passion already for serving folks, which is just as important. It's awesome.
I saw the value of SSVF in Guam when I was there, and I kept asking, our group, right, like, when is this gonna, be delivered over to, or come over to the CNMI, because we have a lot of veterans too who could be out there, suffering. So, in wanting to do a lot of that, did organize for the team here to, through their leadership as well, to see what they can do to come here and also do a needs assessment, right? What WestCare does well is it doesn't come in and say, here's what you need, here's what we're going to do. He comes in and says, what do you need? We want to listen and we want to hear your your issues that we want to be able to also offer solutions to and address accordingly together with the community. Now that's just a great thing. We did work with the mental health court. So we're offering that service of mental health counseling or counseling to the mental health court. And we're working with the drug and family court. There's a lot of issues here that we could address. And I think WestCare being here, especially with SSVF for veterans, I think is just going to be a great, wonderful thing for the CNMI.
So how does WestCare get its funding? Like, is this mostly like a grant program?
It is. So the SSVF program is funded by the Department of Veteran Affairs. So we've had that grant for about 10 years.
Wow.
And it's originally, again, kind of as it was shared by the gentleman up front, the goal was to potentially extend SSVF services here. But what we really, we kind of sat back and realized we need to figure out what the most critical needs are of the veterans and their families here in Saipan or the CNMI. So let's conduct a needs assessment. And our hope is that if we can connect with enough agencies or organizations here during our visit, that they could circulate a survey. It's, would take less than 10 minutes to complete, and you could be a veteran yourself or service member. It could be the spouse or family member, a relative, a friend of a veteran. And we really just want to hear from the community to say, is housing an issue? Because that's what SSVF provides, right? It addresses a housing crisis for veterans and their families. Or it could be that it is a need, but the top 3 include employment or medical needs. Then that's something that I think WestCare as an organization wants to go back to the drawing board and say, what federal funding or local funding pots can we look at that can best meet the need of the veterans and the families here?
So I know that you guys are taking care of like that symptom of the homelessness, but do you guys also address like some of those causes? Do you assist with some of that, like whether it's like mental issues or maybe there's some substance issues? Are you guys involved in that part of it?
That's a great question. The grant and the SSVF program, we do not provide any clinical services, but the goal really is that first, veteran choice is paramount. you tell us what you need and what that looks like for you, and we can access the resources to to facilitate that process. So we have fostered pretty good working relationships with agencies to provide services, whether that's in-house through our organization and behavioral health services, or if that's going to, say, the state agency in Guam, or maybe our local vet center, or connecting to the CBOC. So again, we've also recognized that I think many veterans don't want to engage in VA services or with certain agencies, and we respect that. So we'll look for other resources or community providers that can meet that need.
So what are some of the things that you need from the veterans? You got to prove your service and all that kind of stuff?
For the SSVF program, yes. So we do need to verify their veteran status, which is usually done through their DD-214. We also have an internal system where we can get their information, run it through, and verify it that way as well. We do verify income, so it is based off of household size, and the income levels are established by HUD. So based off of kind of cost of living in an area and how many folks are in that household. And then we also would verify need. So your housing status. You know, a lot of folks will call and say, well, I'm homeless. I'm staying at my mom's and I don't have a place of my own. Okay, so we just kind of have to strategize with what that really looks like. Maybe you're not homeless, but you don't have a place to call your own. So that might not necessarily meet the criteria of homelessness for our program, but that doesn't mean we're going to close the doors, right? So let's see, maybe we need to connect you with one of our closely working realtor partners who can find you an affordable unit. So we try to really work around to meet any needs, whether our grant can provide that direct service or not. I hope that answered the question.
Yeah. I just want to say also that before I forget, there really is no cost, right? So veterans, even the community, when we start providing mental health services throughout WestCare, outside of even the veteran community, there's not going to be any cost. They just come, we work together with shared commitment for caring and compassion, and just, overall wraparound support to anyone out there, right? And so veterans is a big deal. We have the youth, and we're working with, trying to kind of keep the drugs off the hands of our youth, for example, and working that. So we're going to be doing a lot here when it comes to WestCare. So I'm really kind of happy that we're able to continue to promote and make people become aware of this brand called WestCare, because it is going to be here. We've met with the governor's office and all the folks in the community. We're going to be meeting with the Chamber of Commerce. These folks here met yesterday with NMHC, met with CGC. They're meeting with 670 Project Buddy Check sooner rather than later, and we're just engaging VA office as well. So with that, like I mentioned earlier, WestCare has like several different programs underneath it, right? And it's just this big umbrella to offer what the community needs. When there is a need, we'll figure out how to get the solution for that need, but at the same time, working together with the community, make sure that it is a community effort and not just somebody from the outside coming in and saying, this is what we're going to do. It's really, what need do you have? How do we work this through? And then together we're going to solve the issues that we have in the community. We've worked with the mayor's office. We're working with the mayor's office currently as well through many different programs, Division of Youth Services, and everyone else in the community that could really, are out there providing this social, and community service. So it's just happy that, I keep saying that, right? But that's just, you wake up every day and you think, oh, where can I best serve the community? And, of course, me as commissioner, it's always in the schools and making sure that that's happening. But at the same time, there are other avenues of helping the community outside of that. And WestCare is just a big solution to a lot of our issues here.
It is a big one. In fact, I mean, I'm running through all kinds of different faces and names in my head about people who could definitely avail of some of this stuff already. And I know about that because of some of the guys that I get to work with in like our Project Buddy Check, and guys who I probably wouldn't have gotten to know if it wasn't for these kind of organizations. So you guys are tapping into the right folks. How about that? Did you say it was an action committee or an action council?
Community Action Council.
So Are you looking to add to that for folks from here who want to be part of it?
Yeah, I have this guy by the name of Brad that I'd like to recruit to help us with the veteran side. No, but honestly, even just Sunday morning, I picked up the phone and called a friend of mine who was on his way to Hawaii for he's a veteran, right? To get follow-up checks and some issue that he's been undergoing for the last throughout the last year or so, and just was telling me, I was asking about the different ways that he was trying to navigate to get the support and the medical assistance, and it's just crazy how every veteran is different, unique in its own way, and then we have sort of a wraparound support around that, but then they all still have unique challenges, right? So as a veteran and working with an organization like WestCare, we're going to eventually come up and kind of break the code on this, because there's a lot of issues out there that are involved, that are wrapped around this thing with the veterans. And it's just hard, as the comment there was alluding to earlier, it's just hard that we know people who go out to serve their country and then come back and then get all this, obstacles in the way of just trying to get the best either medical, mental health support, or even housing support, right? But we have organizations out there that I think if we could just, have them again work with the community leaders and the partners in the community, I think we'll be able to kind of get to this.
That's great.
Point and break the code eventually.
All right. Well, I already love you guys. I already think you guys are great.
Right.
The mission that you guys have, I think, is just so important, and it's going to be great to hear more of your presentation later, because I will hear you from the Armed Forces Committee for the Chamber. I know that the Project Buddy Check's going to be here, and you've got your other folks, but at least I'll be in two of those to hear you guys really present and all that stuff.
Right. Good
so
job.
I'm excited about it. What's one thing you definitely want people to take away while they're watching this, or what's something that people need to know about WestCare more than anything?
We're caring, we're compassionate, and we just want to, a shared commitment with the community on solving a lot of the issues that we have going on.
Oh, here's a question. You mentioned $1.6 million with NMHC. All right, so is this a study? Is this looking at building something? When I think of NMHC, I think of something's getting built somewhere, because they do all those grants for building things.
Yeah, I'll tell you here in a second.
Is it the Lawrence Kamacho Visitors Center or Veterans Center?
It's so when WestCare got this letter, and the subject is home ARP, right? Allocation notification. The Northern Marianas Housing Corporation is pleased to inform WestCare Pacific Islands of its home ARP allocation in the amount of 1.6, almost 1.7 million dollars eligible with to support eligible activities under the home the Home Investment Partnership under the American Rescue Plan. So really, WestCare is going to come in, provide a framework. What the 1.6 is going to be used in the way of helping NMHC provide, housing, better housing for folks who are in need out there. So we're excited about that, but we're even more excited with a lot of other things that are happening here around the brand called WestCare. So
that's great. When I think of this temporary housing for folks, I think about these things that are happening in the States where I see these little tiny home villages and stuff like that. Is that something that would be on the horizon in Guam for a small veterans community?
Possibly. I mean, it isn't. I don't think it's something that we've directly discussed in our organization at this time, but I think we're always open, right? If there's any solution on the table, let's figure it out if it's doable, if we can fund it, or if there's resources to support it. I don't think we've had discussion about the tiny homes.
Yeah, if it's only a temporary housing thing, I mean, I just thought of, because you were mentioning, all of a sudden someone finds out they're being kicked out of their family's home, right? What is the time turnaround, if I came to you and said, hey, my family can't handle my PTSD anymore, I got nowhere to go. What happens? How long does that take, that whole process?
Yeah, so what we can do is, the whole goal is that we're crisis intervention. So If, let's say, that veteran walks through the door, we're going to, if he's going to be homeless tonight, we'll put him into a hotel for 60 days while we work with him to find a rental unit, right? So that's at least what we strive for every day, is that someone walks through the door and they meet all the qualifications, that we're going to push the service immediately, since we're preventing them from becoming homeless.
Our goal is the immediate response, right? You're in crisis. You probably can't even really function and think about all these things because, stress levels are high. That's our job, where we come in and say, okay, if you, we have many vets and families that come through our door that don't have documentation, or maybe they've been bouncing from home to home, right? And they don't have the things that we need. We'll help you get that. And our goal is that we still keep you sheltered, keep you safe. That's one less thing for you to worry about while we work towards self-sustainability, right? That's really the goal.
Is there any food involved in any of that process?
Yeah, so Marley oversees our emergency pantry. That is either funded through different grants or community donations. And so we'll provide emergency food supplies, hygiene supplies, household goods. We also have a veteran clothing closet. You need an outfit for an interview, or you really just need a new pair of shoes because, yours are worn. Free at no cost.
Wow.
So
yeah,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. So with all that connected back to the 1.6 that I alluded to earlier, right? So same thing, right? The services for supporting, it's a supportive services providing financial assistance for housing for people who are homeless, very low income and or at risk of homelessness, with the homelessness issue. So it's right in the base of what WestCare provides, and SSVF is a big part of that. So this right here that we just received message on or notification on for more funding, I think is just expanding what SSVF would do outside of the veteran community as well. So.
Well, it's fascinating to me. I love that there's groups that are actively doing stuff for vets. I know it's just one segment of the community. There's so many other folks who have issues as well, but you're right. I mean, pegging the issue here with veterans is such a big deal. You mentioned it yourself. Like taking advantage of a program like this is not easy. You have to almost form a whole organization just to get people to realize that you can get help and there's people there who are willing to help you. And it's not just the VA where you have to prove everything, get denied 5 times before they finally say, okay. You guys are there like right from the jump, that crisis moment, and then beyond. It's really great. I'm really excited that you guys are here.
Thank you.
All right, now's the time. Did you teach them the secret handshake and everything before they came in? No, that's just about it. How about any shout outs for anybody? Because you're going to be here for another couple days. Anything to anybody? Maybe where they can get a cool Sanahi?
Lorenzo, that's your plug then.
Go ahead, shout out.
I guess we can shout out the 2 staff that we do have here on island for the Uplift program. So Ms. Jennifer Pangilinan and Ms. Kayla Sablang.
Biba. Thank you for your hard work. Those ladies are our lifesavers. Yeah. We're just like, please let us know. I think also I just want to give a shout out to our team back in Guam. They're holding down the fort. While we are really just out here trying to learn more about the community and how we can help.
Yeah, and of course we got to shout out Dr. Lawrence Camacho for all the wonderful hosting and throwing us at all these great meetings. It's wonderful. Let's start the conversation. So we're looking forward to everything.
Marley?
Oh, I'm just glad to be here.
Awesome.
Shout out to all of these guys. Shout out to our Community Action Council with the leadership of Tiffany Crisostomo, our partners with Kimberly, who's arranging all these meetings also as well. And shout out to the community and especially our veterans and thanking them for their support.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. Now, we're not done with the show, with the program today, but these guys are going to move on and do about like 50 different meetings until tomorrow and all that. So I want to say thanks to them for coming in. Folks, we will be back, so don't go anywhere. Stick around. We'll see you in just a couple minutes.
Across the CNMI, businesses are developing their own skilled workforce through a registered apprenticeship program registered apprenticeship programs help your businesses build a skilled and competitive workforce. Paid, hands-on training ensures apprentices learn the skills your company needs, while you gain employees ready to succeed. It's more than training, it's an investment in your business, your people, and the future of the CNMI.
We see it as an incredible opportunity to partner with the CNMI Department of Labor pathways to get people trained in work that could be really valuable here in the CNMI.
They were looking for employers to join the program as it was new, and we made that call, and the staff at Department of Labor were very helpful and made the process very smooth for us.
With support from the CNMI Department of Labor Workforce Investment Agency, employers design training that fits their needs, while apprentices earn, learn, and stay committed to your company. Registered apprenticeships are a proven strategy for building a skilled, loyal workforce. We partner with businesses to help register programs, access training funds, and strengthen the local economy. Whether you're in construction, healthcare, education, or emerging industries, apprenticeships work. Together, we can keep our workforce strong and our economy growing. Become a registered apprenticeship sponsor today by contacting the CNMI Department of Labor Workforce Investment Agency Division at 670-488-2324 or email cnmiweowa@dole.gov.mp. This workforce product was funded by a $75,000 grant from the U.S. Department of Labor, Employment and Training Administration, covering 100% of the project costs. No non-federal funds were used. The content was created by the CNMI Department of Labor, Workforce Investment Agency Division, and does not necessarily reflect the official position of the U.S. Department of Labor. The DOL makes no guarantees or warranties regarding this information.
All right, folks. Well, that was a great little break, and the folks from the WestCare about ready to head out. But in the meantime, we'll get you guys the latest update from the Associated Press. Here you go.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. President Trump's pressuring U.S. allies and China to send warships to keep the Strait of Hormuz open amid fears of a global energy crisis resulting from the Iran war. But Sagar Meghani reports at the same time he's saying the U.S. doesn't need their help.
The president says numerous countries are on their way without naming them, while suggesting others are not excited about the prospect.
The level of enthusiasm matters to me.
At the same time,
we don't need anybody.
Saying he's pushing nations to join the effort in part to see how they react, noting he's long said countries whom the U.S. has helped will not reciprocate when asked. The president also says he's surprised Iran attacked Gulf countries after the U.S. and Israeli strikes.
Nobody expected that. We were shocked.
Though Tehran has long warned it would retaliate on the entire Middle East if attacked. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
More U.S. and Israeli strikes hit Tehran again today, and Israel again bombarded Lebanon. An Iranian drone strike temporarily shut Dubai's airport. And Julie Walker reports extreme weather across the U.S. has forced the cancellation of some 4,000 flights.
Many schools have to close in the mid-Atlantic states where high winds and tornadoes were in the forecast. Blizzards buried parts of Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota, while torrential rains flooded homes and washed out roads in Hawaii. National Weather Service meteorologist Brian Hurley.
This is what happens in March and April, right? It's this clash in the air masses, winter not wanting to let go, from the north. And then obviously the sun's getting a little stronger. It's warming up in the south.
And he says California is dealing with unusually high temperatures for this time of year. I'm Julie Walker.
In Cuba, an island-wide blackout reported. This is AP News. Seth Sutel now with the AP Markets Report.
A drop in oil prices helped send Wall Street to its best day since the war in Iran began. The S&P 500 rose 1% Monday. That was its biggest gain in 5 weeks. The index is now back within 4% of its record high. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 387 points. That's about 0.8%. The Nasdaq Composite rose 1.2%. The price for a barrel of benchmark U.S. crude settled at just above $93. It had gone as high as $102 in the morning. Companies that buy a lot of fuel did well. United Airlines rose 4.25%. The drop in oil prices also let bond investors feel a little less worried about inflation. The yield on the 10-year Treasury fell to 4.22%. Seth Sutel, New York.
There's more news at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
And by sunrise, she's marching with a sign in the air. Hashtags flying everywhere. Paint on her jacket, fire in her eyes. Truth gets louder when the camera's live. She says she's saving the world in 4K live. Different stage when it's neon nights. By day she's preaching revolution plans. By night she's paying bills with OnlyFans. Cape in the closet, heels in her hand. Fighting the system and the algorithm. Having only friends ain't part of the plan. She funds the movement with OnlyFans. Glitter on boots, spotlight glow. Crowd goes wild at the midnight show. Clock strikes 12, persona flips. Justice and drama from painted lips. Megaphone power, trans so bold. Truth gets flexible when the story's sold. By day she's chanting through city halls. By night she's working behind paywalls. Hero or villain, depends who stands. She's got subscribers, not just fans. Saving the world one live stream scan. Fun in the fight with OnlyFans. Two masks, one mission. Split screen fame. Every cause needs a funding stream. Is it justice? Is it sand? Is it power in her hand? She's got a banner and a backup plan. Megaphone queen with a payment scan. Cape in the daylight, cash in hand. Truth goes viral when it's well lit and planned. Superhero in high demand. Powered by rage. And
All right, Marianas. 9:01 Tuesday morning, St. Patrick's Day. How good is it to be out here on a beautiful day? I know it was a little bit rainy. We got some earlier, but could be much, much worse out there. It is still the best place in the world to call home here in the CNMI. Louisa is saying, hey, please join me in wishing a happy birthday to my sister from another mister, Louisa Mulang. All right, well, happy birthday to you, Louisa. A different Louisa. Is she? Do they have a cuts for women? Is that how it works? We got Louisa and Louisa. It's got to be a cuts thing. You got to help me on this one. I know there's going to be a little bit of delay. By the way, it has been kind of nonstop all morning. I didn't really get to say hi to all you guys, and thank you guys for joining us today. But I got to tell you, I am beyond thankful and appreciative every time you guys are here. All the comments, all the reactions. If you haven't already, please give this show a like today. Every time you do, that adds to all those reactions. It's really good to show. It helps with the algorithm, helps to let people know that we are here, and it also helps show our advertisers that you guys are showing us love. It's almost like a little donation you guys are making, so bam. Speaking of that, we've gotten them before, and that's something you're able to do. If you wanted to, you can get on the YouTube chats, on the super chats and all that other stuff. Mike's done it a couple times as well. You're able to do those things where you put in whatever dollar amount, it's there. You're able to do that, and that helps us keep this dream going, and it's a lot of fun. We've been able to do it through the sponsorships that we've gotten from folks like you. And also, you know what else is great? Just the support that you guys give with little messages here and there and letting us know about different things. That is how this whole world goes around over here. All right, man, I'll tell you what, but we had we met with a couple of folks at the job fair on Friday, and it went really well. We're just finalizing a couple of things, but man, we might have one or two new people joining the team. How about that? I mean, that's kind of crazy to think of how this thing is moving along over here, but I'm excited about it. I'm excited for the show. I'm excited for the whole news thing, and I'm really excited that we'll be able to actually I'll just say deploy other reporters out there in the field to cover different stories and all that. So good times for us here over at the NMI News Service. We were going to go to a press conference at 10 o'clock today, but that press conference got postponed indefinitely. This is with the folks at the governor's office with CETA. We met with them to talk about their recent trip that they took, which is all good news when they end up going out and representing the Marianas wherever they're going. They're usually trying to rope in investors, and they're trying to give us a little update on their most recent trip out. So good news, good times, hooray! We've got that going for us. What else is going on a Tuesday? I'll give you just a couple of announcements before we wrap it up here. The Women's Day. Now, we have International Women's Day, and this is International Women's Month. But we are going to be live streaming next week. It is going to be on Thursday. We're going to be at the Multipurpose Center. I believe it's the 26th. Hold on, I'm just pulling it up now. And they reached out and said, hey, would you be willing to do it? And we said yes, because we love this thing. We were a part of it last year. It's the Women's Summit. It's going to be Thursday at the Multipurpose Center. We'll be there, and we'll be streaming it live for you as well. I think we were, I think I was the MC last year partnering with Daria. And man, that was just a great time. Becky and I just had an awesome time last year. Well, this year, we're going to bring it to you guys. So it's the 12th Annual Women's Summit. It's going to be hosted by the CNMI Women's Association, and the theme is going to be Give to Gain, and that's going to be at the Multipurpose Center. Check-in is going to be at 7:30. The event's going to start at 8. There's going to be lunch included, and it's free. It's going to be light refreshments throughout, though, and there'll be some great networking, and you could get involved by, we're going to be posting up all the info here after we get off the show. And if you've got any questions, you can give them a call to Commonwealth Women's Association, 670-233-8978, or you can send them an email. You got to remember this one, though, CNMI Women's Association @gmail. And you can get all the info that you need. It's a great thing. It's a great event. The energy is awesome in there. It's so much fun. But it is Give to Gain, and we're really happy to be the ones that get to bring that to you. I know we can't do every single thing that's out there, but this is one of the things that we really love, and we can't wait to be a part of again, because great information, great people, and it's great to see them out there. Oh my gosh, that's right, Louisa. Or is it Louisa? I know. Leviosa, not Leviosa. I know. I think that's what you were going for. Anyway, she's reminding us about the first ever Marianas games happening in June. how important is the Marianas games? I'll tell you how important it is. I'm planning my summer around that. We've got a trip that we can go to the mainland for the family. There's a trip that we can go to the mainland for cultural stuff. There's a trip that we could go to Thailand for veteran stuff. And we are basing all of this stuff around being available for the Marianas games, because we won't be able to bring you everything that's happening. We're going to bring you the heck out of that baseball, though, because we're set up for success over there with that. We'll be live streaming that baseball for you, and we're going to have the best team in town to get that stuff. So really excited about it. There's going to be a lot of events going on all over the place. And again, you know, we can't bring all of them to you, but we'll bring you the results from them, and we'll try to bring you as much. Oh, yeah, we're going to cover those baseball games for sure. If I could figure out how to really cover live some of the other stuff too, then we'll do it. I just think, at least like if we were to do VAA at the same time, I would need, I know I could do that, but then I wouldn't be able to be at the ballpark. So being at the ballpark versus being at the other locations, like Luisa, like for instance, if I wasn't at that game, but you were, and I was quarterbacking from here, and we had other people out there shooting other stuff, I could coordinate all those live things. It'd be like the NBC Olympic coverage, but that we all run it out of here and go back and forth to check out the different things at the different games. It's totally possible. We just need a couple more bodies in here who know what they're doing or who are interested in doing it for sure. And I know that we could pull it because we've got everything that we need to make that magic happen. So it's just a matter of seeing, you know, what we want to do and how crazy we want to get with it. But I love the idea with all the different sports that are happening. All right, well, I think that's it for today. We're going to wrap it up now, and so I can start posting some of this stuff and get ready. Got a cool meeting today at 1 o'clock. I want to get to the dang gym. I need to get out there, and today's one of those rare days where I got a little bit of a break now since that press conference got postponed, and I got to try to take care of a little bit of me. We'll talk about one more thing before we go, because I love this thing. This is such a great opportunity. Can I just put it up on the screen? I think I can. So don't hold up on this one yet, guys, because this one is a really cool thing. So you guys know that Laddie built 24 Hour Fitness. Those are our guys. We love them. They love us. They've been there ever since, like right from the beginning. Well, also we got the folks over there from Fresh Cut CNMI. So you got Jeff. So Derek and Jeff teaming up for some really great stuff. Oh, geez, I thought I had that file right here handy. That's all right. I can find it in another spot real quick. Where they're doing the Be the Inspiration Youth Day. I know I have it on the website. I know. Here, let me just download it again over here so I could put them both over here on the screen. There's one, and here's the other one. Two things that are happening over at Laddie Built Now so that you guys could get involved, like today. They're doing like a clothing drive. And again, you could be a part of that right now. Here we go. Here, let's put this one on the screen first. Bam. Yeah, it's just gigantic. Hold on. You like that nice relaxing music in the background? All right, so this is it. This is the first thing we'll put on there. It's the Youth Be the Inspiration Day, and the actual day that all these things are going to happen is going to be on March 23rd over there at Laddie Built, right down the street from us in CK. It's going to be great. It's going to be based on, the kids. There's going to be free haircuts. They're going to do some fitness. There's going to be food, and it's a nice give back to the community thing. It's such a great idea. I love this thing, and I love that these guys, who are just a couple of good dudes, and it's not just two people, right? But they're the two people I'm thinking about for this. Here, 670. That they are going to be working together on this. Jeff Hostaki and Derek Cutting. I got another one here. So here's something that they're doing even though that's the big day when all of it's going to happen, this part is going on right now. It's a clothing drive. Well, I'm going to have all this stuff on the screen. You're barely going to be able to see me, so that's okay. A clothing drive. This is going on right now. They're looking for new or gently used clothing items and athletic shoes so that kids will have something to wear and that they can use for this stuff too. So you can get involved in this by dropping that stuff off at Laddiebuilt. There's Jeff. He's going to be the one cutting hair. And if you cut hair, or if you're involved with people who cut hair, you're friends with them or something, and because Jeff's only got 2 arms and 2 hands, and he's not cutting hair with his feet unless he's got some more skills that I know about. He could use some help with some of this stuff too. If you want to get in, maybe you just got an hour. You can donate your time for an hour. I mean, how many kids cuts can you do in an hour, right? I mean, just imagine you get in there, wherever, maybe you own a shop and you want to donate a couple of your barbers or stylists to get down there and help out and be a part of it. I'm telling you folks, this is going to be such a great thing. And if you have the opportunity to get involved, or you can get somebody else involved. Oh, we have a lot of customers that day, or maybe it's just one person for an hour. You just have them roll in there for an hour. Reach out and be a part of this. I know you could do it too, but this is something, there's already inertia, there's already momentum going for this. Why not be a part of it? And if you want to do something else later, you can. And take advantage of this. There's nothing but good vibes out of this event, and you could be a part of it. It's just so great. Again, excuse me. There's going to be food. There's going to be fitness, and between now and then as well, there's that ongoing clothing drive for new and gently worn clothes and shoes, athletic shoes, for the kids. Be a part of it. It's great stuff. All right, guys. If you want to learn more about it, you can go to Laddiebuilt and ask them for yourselves. My goodness, I'm going to have to get some water and donate some water to myself. And or you can check out the story that we have on it on the nminewsservice.com. And we also have a little bit of a teaser about it on the the social media site. So that's what we got for you guys today. I hope you have a great day. I hope this St. Patrick's Day is your best so far. And I hope that the rest of your day is just great. So take care, CNMI. Keep looking out for each other. It's crazy, this political season. I mean, it's already heating up. Like, already the craziness has already started. But look, at the end of the day, when we're done with this politics stuff, no matter what, it's however deep you go in these conversations or arguments or sniping or any of that other stuff, just remember, we're all going to be living here together after the election. We're all going to be living here in probably a lot of us different jobs after the election. We're still going to have to take care of each other after the election. We're still going to have a storm that'll probably roll through here at some point that we're all going to be taking care of each other. So any of those little snipes, no matter how much you love or don't love somebody who's running for office, we're all on the same team. We're all part of Team CNMI. So maybe take your foot off the gas at some of those conversations. And remember that we're still just all brothers and sisters here hanging out in Saipan, looking out for each other. All right. Well, I love you guys, and I'm really thankful for all of you guys. So have a great day. Take care. We'll be back again tomorrow morning with another edition of Good Morning Marianas. And whenever that press conference gets rescheduled, we'll be there for that too. So thanks for being here. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.